Oahu Condos, what you need to know before buying. Aloha, my name is Duke Ong, and I'm the principal broker at Blueprint Real Estate Advisors in Honolulu. In this video, I'm going to discuss what you need to know when buying a condo on Oahu. Before we do that, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. If you have any questions about real estate, please reach out to me. I'll leave my contact info in the description below. Association records. Did you know that condo owners have access to numerous association documents and records? Hawaii condo law is based on self-governance and allows owners to have access to certain association documents. Chapter 514B of the Hawaii Revised Statutes is the condo statute, which specifies which records must be maintained, which records must be made available, and which records must be provided to owners upon request. First, the law sets forth what records associations must maintain. These records include accurate copies of the declaration, bylaws, house rules, and any amendments. Copies of some documents must also be provided to prospective purchasers and their agents. Other records which must be maintained are receipts, expenditures, payment authorizations, and a current list of owners and their mailing addresses. This list must be made available at cost to owners as provided in the governing documents, or when an owner gives an affidavit to the board, managing agent, or resident manager. This list, however, can only be used for association matters and not other purposes like soliciting donations or sales. In case you're wondering, an affidavit is a written statement of fact voluntarily made by a person under an oath or affirmation, which is administered by a person who is authorized to do so by law. Second, the law sets forth what records associations must make available to owners. For example, the association must provide the current financial statement for examination at no cost or on a 24-hour loan, as well as approved board meeting minutes for the current and prior year. The minutes can also be sent for a reasonable administrative fee. Financial documents, insurance policies, contracts, and election materials must also be made available for examination or sent to the request. An affidavit may be required, and there may be a cost for these records. Third, the law sets forth basically a laundry list of what documents must be provided to owners. These documents include financial records, ledgers, association minutes, insurance policies, and contracts, including the management contract and on-site manager contract. Depending on the document, there may be time limits or affidavit and cost requirements. So, how does an owner get access to these documents? First, decide which document you want and look at the statute so you know what is required. Second, make the request in writing to the managing agent, resident manager, or board. You can also use the request form, which is available on the real estate branch's website. Remember, keep a copy of your request. If your request is denied, you can file a complaint with the Regulated Industries Complaint Office, RICO, which has an online form available, or you can pursue mediation or another form of dispute resolution. Budgeting and reserve funding. Proper budgeting and reserve funding are essential for the financial well-being of a condo association. Under Hawaii's condo law, associations are required to adopt an annual budget and establish adequate reserve funds. First, the annual budget reflects the estimated funds needed by the association to cover its current operating expenses such as utilities, staff salaries, landscaping, refuse collection, security, and insurance. The association adopts the annual budget, and it must be distributed or made available to all owners at least once a year. Owners are responsible for paying regular monthly assessments, also known as maintenance fees, based on the annual budget that is adopted by the board. These assessments must cover 100% of the association's expenses. The common expenses, which are funded by the maintenance fees, include the shared costs of repairing or replacing the property's common elements. Generally, these common expenses are assessed against all units in accordance with the common interest assigned to each unit. The annual budget must include the association's estimated revenues and operating expenses, information on whether the budget was prepared on a cash or accrual basis, and certain information about the replacement reserves. Now, let's talk more about reserve funding. Each condo board is responsible for establishing adequate reserve funds to cover the costs of repairing and replacing the common elements. Reserves are an essential part of an association's annual operating budget and are usually collected with the regular monthly maintenance fees and put aside for future use. Having adequate replacement reserves is crucial to an association's financial health. As you may know, common elements are the condos, infrastructure, shared spaces, and amenities. These can include roofs, walls, parking structures, elevators, plumbing, and amenities like a pool, fitness center, or barbecue area. As association members, owners have a responsibility to pay their monthly maintenance fees, whether or not they use a common element or amenity. Hawaii condo law requires that each board adopt a budget that includes the total replacement reserves of the association. The estimated replacement reserves necessary to maintain the property are based on a reserve study. A reserve study is a general explanation of how the replacement reserves are calculated and the amount the association needs to collect to fund the replacement reserves for the fiscal year, and information about whether the estimated reserves is based on a percent funded or cash flow plan. It's important for associations, boards, and owners to understand their shared responsibility to maintain adequate reserves. Insufficient reserves can result in the board meeting to levy costly special assessments, borrow needed funds, or defer necessary repairs. So, owners should review the association's annual budget and stay informed about their association's finances. Maintenance fees and special assessments. When you buy a condo, you automatically become a member of an association of unit owners, and every owner must pay a monthly assessment, which covers both the association's current expenses and its reserves. The amount of an owner's monthly assessment or maintenance fee is based on their percentage interest in the common elements. Owners are responsible for paying their share of the common expenses like groundskeeping, trash collection, pool maintenance, and security. Your percentage interest is in the governing documents. Owners are required to pay their monthly maintenance fees, whether or not they use the pool or any of the facilities. Reserves are funds saved and set aside for future repairs and replacement of common elements that will cost more than $10,000. This could be roofs, elevators, paving, pipes, painting. Find out when payments are due and what happens if you pay late. And it's important to know that maintenance fees generally go up every year since the cost of utilities, repairs, and other services go up every year just like everything else. The association notifies owners every year about any increase. Even if you don't agree with the fee, you still have to pay. Hawaii condo law has a pay first, challenge later provision. No unit owner shall withhold any assessment claimed by the association. So, while you may not agree with an assessment, the law is clear. Owners must pay first. Later, they can try to resolve it using any of the dispute resolution options that are available. Older projects often have large expenses for aging stuff like elevators and plumbing. Associations are supposed to have gradually built up adequate reserves. But if not, the board may impose a special assessment, which is an additional fee to cover larger, unforeseen expenses like aging pipes, disaster cleanup lawsuits, or unexpected expenses. If the owners consent and the association qualifies, they can take out a loan. If they don't, then the board must cover the cost somehow, which is often a one-time special assessment on all owners. But if the association votes to borrow money, maintenance fees will be higher for the life of the loan. Sometimes associations do both. So it makes sense for owners to minimize the need for special assessments by reporting any damage they see right away. All right, guys, that's it for part 3 in this 4-part series. Be sure to check out part 4 to continue to learn more about Hawaii condos. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you leave a like, click the subscribe button, as well as the notification bell next to that to continue to learn more about real estate on Oahu. If you're looking to relocate to Oahu, I'd love to help you out. I'll leave my contact info in the description below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.